Minute with Ray Richardson.
Sunday was a good day for both of LA's NBA teams. The Lakers got back to 500 with a 24-point win over Portland. D'Angelo Russell had a game-high 34 points and 8 assists. LeBron dropped 28. The Lakers play the Clippers Tuesday night. The Clippers are 13 games over 500 after a comeback win over Brooklyn. They ended the game with a 22-0 run. Kawhi Leonard scored 14 of those points in the final 5 minutes, 23 off the bench for Russell Westbrook. The NFL's Final Four is set for next Sunday. Kansas City is at Baltimore for the AFC Championship. Two former MVP quarterbacks on display in this one, Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Jackson is the favorite to win this year's MVP. Detroit goes to San Francisco to battle for the NFC title. Detroit is the only NFC team that has never played in the Super Bowl. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyaudio.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyaudio.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule. 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not too serious. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First Black on Talk Radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted Black and Brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the move. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580, good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. The show is First Things First. My first thing on a Monday, especially, but every day, giving thanks and giving praises, asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. Let's do this thing this week, this year. So this is how it works. In the first hour, we typically look to the left coast. We see what's going on the Pacific side of town. In hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive with a person of interest or a hot topic. And actually, we were missing our Messy Monday vibe last month. We moved it out of the way to accommodate a person, elected official. And now it is back. It is back today. So we'll do that in hour three. We'll meet some folks and hear their dating philosophy, their relationship philosophy. And I encourage you to weigh in. This is where we make sure that even though we are progressives and we focus on those important things in the political landscape, we also take time to do better and think about our intimate relationships, among other things. So hour one, well, the whole thing is a little skewed today, and it may end up being that way up until Election Day, March 5th, because we need to get ourselves together and understand who's running for what and what we're voting for. So we're reaching out to judges and would-be judges, judicial candidates, and people running for just about every office you can imagine, and they will be showing up around here. So we have two of the folks who are running for district attorney in the second hour of the show today, which means if you got something to say this morning, yes, you can call in during those presentations, but if you got a topic or something on your mind and you want to do the freestyle phone thing, call and talk about any topic, now would be the time to do that at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. That is the number to get in. You can also tap in on social media, KBLA 1580 on every platform, or find me, DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio on almost every platform. And I would love to have a conversation with you there as well. So right now, this first hour is me, you, and the microphone. And there is a call to action this morning, really early this week, around the Martin Luther King Community Hospital. It's for those who have been in Los Angeles or on the political landscape for some time, this has been an ongoing fight to keep this hospital strong and viable within our community. We know it went away. And then thanks to the efforts of really then Supervisor Mark Ridley Thomas, it was resurrected. It came back. It was a huge and important, resurrection of a resource. And now King Community Medical Center is actually, one of the leading hospitals for better maternal health outcomes for Black women. It has been truly a success story in its resurrection, and yet continues to be underfunded and to face challenges. So on Tuesday, tomorrow, Supervisor Holly J. Mitchell is going to introduce a motion to get more funding for Martin Luther King Jr. Community Hospital. And folks from the Empowerment Congress, other activists in the space are asking for you to go, if you can go, to the Board of Supervisors meeting on Tuesday and show support for this hospital. It is true. This is a huge and important community resource. We almost lost it once, and we need to make sure that it has the funding to keep going on. I mean, you think about the fact that they are providing care to people, whether they have insurance or they don't have insurance, in a community that is wildly underserved when it comes to resources for healthcare, and in a community that suffers in both the Black and Latino quarters of that geographic region from worse health outcomes, largely because of less access. So they're asking you to go to the LA County Board of Supervisors meeting. It's at the Kenneth Hahn Hall of Administration in downtown LA, which is 500 West Temple Street. It's going to be in room 381B. You can go there and they have comment. You can say that you support the funding for Martin Luther King Jr. Hospital. If you, for some reason, can't make it in person, you can go to the Board of Supervisors website and learn about how to participate on the phone. They have call-in instructions there. Apparently, their call-in instructions are not always the same. So even if you've done it before, you want to go check in and see what the requirements are if you want to call in. And you can also submit written comments. But if you want to submit written comments, the deadline is today, so you got to get it done right now. And you would go, it's item number 10, apparently, Martin Luther King Junior Community Hospital, Keeping the Dream Alive. And that's the name of that motion from Supervisor Mitchell. And you just want to say, well, I would say that I'm for the, you can say whatever you want, but I would say as a progressive that we need to ensure that this important resource in our community continues to be fully and robustly funded, to be able to do the important work, which is actually not in some ethereal or airy-fairy way, but in a very concrete way, saving lives and giving, for Black moms and others, but Black moms especially, who are getting better outcomes, right? And now it's been well documented. There's a documentary called Birthing Justice, which really highlights the great work that the Martin Luther King Jr. Community Hospital is doing in this area. And that's just one, right? With culturally competent staff and having adopted, important woman-centered models, using all the different kinds of resources and methodologies that have had great outcomes. It's just one aspect of why we need this hospital, why we need to step up and support this hospital right now. And again, for those of us who get caught up in this funk that somehow all politicians are, useless and they're all the same, blah, blah, blah. Well, okay. Be mad at the ones that you're mad at. Be specific, but this shows you the importance of representation, right? Of having someone or some ones on these bodies, like the LA County Board of Supervisors, a very, very powerful political group, having someone there that has the interests of us in mind, that's willing to say, you know what, we've got to have a revenue stream to support this community resource and not just leave it to whatever way the winds blow. Because what we're doing is helping to counteract decades and decades, or arguably centuries, of medical apartheid, right? And that we the community elected folks to represent us, and then when they show up and do it, like Supervisor Holly Mitchell is doing with this motion, we need to support them. So if you have the opportunity to go and go to the Board of Supervisors meeting tomorrow, let's make it happen. If you can call in, that's great. And if you want to write in, that's due today. So that's your call to action. Yeah, it's a Monday and we're shot out of a cannon around here. Would love to hear from you. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. And it is true. The season of strikes continues. I'll tell you what's going on with the Cal State University faculty and their labor action when we come forward. Of course, I'm taking your phone calls, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima, and this is KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
On your period, sudden gushes happen without warning. But now you can say goodbye to stand-up gush fears. Thanks to Always Ultra Thins with rapid dry technology. It absorbs gushes 2 times faster than the leading store brand and gives you up to 100% leak-free protection. Hello, clean and comfortable with Always Fear No Gush.
Some people just know the best places to eat around town. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. They know exactly where to go to get exactly what you're wanting. They know where to find the spiciest hot pot, the gooeyest brownies, and the tenderest, most flavorful portobello steak. Those people also know that safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for Allstate auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. 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 Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
If we care enough. I believe we do care enough, but we're going to have to show it through action. And I'm so grateful to be in community with the KBLA delegation, because we actually do more than talk around here. But you're welcome to talk right now, 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. I want to point out one other little deviance from our typical schedule. Today, you will get your Mindful Monday a little early today, so we can make room for both of our candidates for DA to have the same amount of time in the second hour of the show. So we'll be hearing from Saharah Ali and a Mindful Monday, our affirmation, a short form meditation, and some guidance on the week ahead with a sound bath expert, a meditation instructor, mindfulness teacher, and a life coach, Saharah Ali. That'll happen right after our next news, traffic, and sports. So keep it right here for that. Okay, so for the first time ever that I've know of, and I think it is the first time ever, all of the 23 California State University campuses are on strike this week, every day, starting today. This is the start of the spring semester, and it's going to create some confusion, but I mean, that's the point, is to show how important these folks are. The faculty, that means professors, it means librarians, it means the folks that keep school, the Cal State University system running smoothly, coaches, counselors. They want to be paid better. The reason for that request is in the name, California State University. California is expensive, and teachers, professors, lecturers, they need to be able to live where they work. So they want 12%. They want some other benefits. And this is going on all week this week. Apparently, the campuses will still be open. If you feel like crossing a picket line, you can go. And then the faculty members are going to have to figure out what they're doing with their students on an individual basis. So if you are a student, I would recommend an email, figure out what's going on, or just pick up a sign and go join the picket line. That's what a lot of students have done. When we saw similar strikes, on the East Coast and in academia across the country last year, many of the students simply join the picket line. The thing is, this is ad drop period. Everybody's getting their schedule together, and I get all that. But there's a lot you can do online without walking across a picket line. The union is marching, and to me, that's not. You don't want to cross that picket line. But it's a so-called free country. Do what you do. They're saying the campuses are going to be open for student services, and so they can check with their professors about how they're going to be handling things during the strike. And some faculty may decide to not go on strike and may decide to hold their classes. I think there's pretty high level of solidarity from what I know, the folks I've talked to who are walking out. So I would definitely see if you can figure out what's going on before you make any moves. But, again, you have the option if you're a student or a parent to pick up a picket sign and join the faculty here. There's a new chancellor who's going to have to navigate this. But, given the outcomes that we've seen with many of the other labor actions over the past year, it's probably good to just go on ahead and get to the table and negotiate something favorable for faculty ASAP. The university system has its own problems, but to me, if you're going to raise tuition as they did last year and continue to be top heavy in terms of these consultants and highly paid administrators, then it sends the wrong message to not invest in the actual faculty, the actual people who deliver the thing we're counting on, the thing called education that we're counting on you to do with and for our students. To me, that's where we should start as far as the investment. Because I think we get carried away with buildings and the so and such named building, and just to me, this is my analysis. It seems like the university system is in this country. As a mom who's just been through the applying to college process, I'll tell you, with my child, the universities in this country are really overpriced, and it's more than a notion to pay for college education for your child. It's top heavy. I just think the whole system is top heavy. We spend too much money on these university presidents and such who are making millions or half of millions of dollars, while faculty can't even afford an apartment or to pay their gas bill in pricey California. So definitely standing in solidarity with the faculty members this week. And of course, I know it's different if you're a student, but nevertheless, solidarity is important. You want your teachers to be able to live nearby and have more time to do their job. So I guess the other piece of this is that there's a group of workers on these campuses, people like receptionists, and the folks that do like tech support and stuff, who are starting a union. They're just starting to organize. I think it's about 5,000 folks, maybe a little less than that. And they are organizing their own union. And then there was another strike. There's a Teamsters strike that was meant to be hitting today to the campuses, but apparently they came up with a deal at the end of last week. So, yeah, you got the heads up. You know what's up. You know what solidarity looks like around here. And I'm going to keep circling back to this, the situation with the Martin Luther King Community Hospital. It's so funny. We're less than 2 weeks away from MLK Day, and we have the question of whether or not we're going to fund this hospital in his name, which super serves the people that have the least access, and does it really well. So, again, the call to action is to either call in, write in, or show up to the Board of Supervisors meeting tomorrow, January 23rd, and make your support for the hospital to known. They serve 1.35 million residents. It's not a little thing. It's a big deal. And Supervisor Holly Mitchell, she's introducing this motion tomorrow. We want to show up and support that. Or if you're going to write in, you have to do it by today. I had the opportunity this weekend to see the film Origin, which was a special screening. A lot of people, activists, right? People in anti-racist and BLM folks and, young people. And if you saw it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. 800-920-1580. It's directed by Ava Duvernay, Anjanou Ellis, with a pretty stellar performance. I shouldn't say pretty, with a stellar performance. Solid work. But like the book Cast itself, which that Origin is based on the book Cast, it raises some questions, right? So I thought the book, it's been a while since I read it, but I thought it was very, very important in making a lot of connections that people may or may not make in how hierarchies are enforced, how white supremacy is enforced or prejudice. But at the time that book came out, and it raises questions about the role of race in the oppression of people in this country. And the author, Isabel Wilkerson, who is the subject of the film, well, I can't say she's partly the subject of the film. Her story centers the film, and it, there's a lot more to it than that. It's really well done. I'll give you that. I mean, Ava Duvernay does weave a story. It's compelling. But the question of whether we can simply say that our oppression as Black people in this country is only about caste and is not influenced by race, or even the Black people of Brazil or the Black people of the Dominican Republic, that race is not a factor, that in fact there's a caste system. And she makes the argument using the caste system of India and the Dalit, formerly known as untouchables, and the caste system of the Nazi regime in Germany, and which of course we know is inspired by Jim Crow here, to make the case that the through line, the commonality in the impression of all these people is caste, a system of caste, and explain how that system is enforced, but makes the argument that race is not the reason. And, that raises a lot of questions. It's something that feels popular, but not true. We got news, traffic, and sports talking about the movie Origin. Love to hear your thoughts on this and other things. A Mindful Monday coming up next as well on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
It is a Monday, January 22nd. I'm Mike Moore. Now here's the latest from the Black Information Network. An amended congressional redistricting map has been approved in Louisiana. Friday, the state legislature passed the new congressional map following a federal judge's directive to add a second black majority district. The map now heads to Governor Jeff Landry's desk for approval, which he'll likely give. The U.S. military is ending a 10-day search for 2 Navy SEALs who went missing in the waters off the Gulf of Aden. The 2 are now presumed dead, with recovery operations now underway. They went into the water January 11th during a nighttime mission. The U.S., Japan, and Spain took part in the search, which spanned over 21,000 square miles off the coast of Somalia. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Shop the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Valid 1/4/24 to 1/24/24. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Sunday was a good day for both of LA's NBA teams. The Lakers got back to 500 with a 24-point win over Portland. D'Angelo Russell had a game-high 34 points and 8 assists. LeBron dropped 28. The Lakers play the Clippers Tuesday night. The Clippers are 13 games over 500 after a comeback win over Brooklyn. They ended the game with a 22-0 run. Kawhi Leonard scored 14 of those points in the final 5 minutes, 23 off the bench for Russell Westbrook. The NFL's Final Four is set for next Sunday. Kansas City is at Baltimore for the AFC Championship. 2 former MVP quarterbacks on display in this one, Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Jackson is the favorite to win this year's MVP. Detroit goes to San Francisco to battle for the NFC title. Detroit is the only NFC team that has never played in the Super Bowl. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Got me a damn girl on my team.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe we have the best tag team in morning radio. Dominique DiPrima and Tavis Smiley as the first black woman in Los Angeles to anchor a morning drive talk radio show. Dominique covers local politics like a blanket. Weekday mornings from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., Dominique passes the baton to Tavis Smiley, who talks to everybody about everything every day until 12 noon. KBLA's dynamic duo, Dominique and Tavis. It's no wonder the LA Civil Rights Department is honoring Dominique DiPrima this year at its Tell Our Story honoring black journalist leaders and storytellers event, Thursday, February 8th. Or that the John M. Langston Bar Association of Los Angeles is honoring Tavis Smiley at its 47th Annual Installation and Scholarship Awards Gala with its Community Impact Award on February 10th. We couldn't be more proud of Dominique and Tavis, who make black history every day, not just in February. If you're missing Dominique and Tavis weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580, you're missing out. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Holla, yeah.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
21, oh, life has just begun. Got a temper like a gun, pointing it at everyone. That's his game, and it helps him to get through the day. But a voice inside him says, how much longer can I play? He's got infinite possibilities, I can see them now.
It's time to set our intentions, set our self-care, and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
And it is my honor and my pleasure to start the week each week with a mindfulness instructor, meditation instructor. She's a sound healer, a sound bathologist, a life coach, an astrologer, and so much more. She's the creator of a system called Saji Yoga. If you want to know more, I suggest you go take a class. Saharah Ali, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning, KBLA family. Welcome to Mindful Mondays, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions to honor our mind and body through meditation, prayer, and affirmation as we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with faith, truth, power, and wisdom. Our call to action this week is to acknowledge we are one with a divine source greater than ourselves. We honor this as we celebrate the celestial influence of Pluto and the sun in Aquarius. Yes, it's Aquarius season, opposed the full moon in Leo on Thursday, so we have a wild week going on. We have an opportunity to uncover gifts from our inner landscape and explore new talents, as well as receive deeper wisdom and truth for growth and transformation. Things can get really emotional, and feelings of rage may rise to the surface to be healed. It's all about purification. The universe is offering us a chance to receive positive change, purification, karmic healing, and transformation. New life potential and spiritual growth lies in front of us as we usher in a new paradigm, bringing radical change of all kinds, yielding a shift in our personal and collective power. So this week is full of celestial changes, posing the questions, are you ready for change? Are you ready to shift the paradigm of your consciousness to stand in your wholeness and your light? So going forward with our Mindful Monday meditation, pause for a moment. Take a breath. Sit with what I've just shared with you, but mindfully bring your awareness to your breath. Be here in present time. Exhale. Now breathe. Just inhale, hold it, then exhale. Being on purpose in this moment, opening your heart to change. Take this time to be here now, opening to your inner spirit. Now just breathe. Breathe and relax. Breathe in love from the Most High. Relax. Now exhale, calling on your angels and ancestors to aid with surrendering to new beginnings, new possibilities. Inhale. Be here now. Be here now, open, ready to receive clarity of self, going in that world behind your eyes, bringing in breath of life. Now exhale. Allow your outer vision, yes, your outer vision, to match your inner vision. Because as we think, so shall it be. So think about what you want, not what you don't want, and go into that world behind your eyes and shift your perspective, calling on self-love. Now inhale, embracing your soul's purpose. Think about that. What is your soul's purpose? Breathe that in. Now exhale, relax, connecting to the wholeness that already exists within you. Connect to your wholeness that already exists in you. Now inhale, receiving clarity of love and faith. Think about that, receiving clarity, love, and faith. Now exhale, releasing all blockage to divine wisdom and change. Exhale and let go of anything blocking divine wisdom and change. Now inhale, committing to the gift of spiritual evolution. Commit to the gift of evolving your consciousness, aiding your spirit in evolution. Now exhale, acknowledge you are one with the divine source. We are one with the divine source greater than ourselves. Now inhale, promising to embrace positive change, promising to pick up your power and to hold your light. Now exhale, relax, release, and let go. And now just breathe normal. And as you breathe, think about integrating your wholeness. Think about how you're willing to be on purpose. Just breathe, relax, quieting your mind, quieting your body. Embrace your spirit, your light, your wholeness. Now take the biggest breath you've had all morning, and as you hold this breath, and as you exhale this breath, embrace your body, your mind, and spirit to receive our Mindful Monday affirmation. So just relax and breathe and listen with an open heart, with your mind and your spirit. Our Mindful Monday affirmation: today with grace, I unapologetically accept the gift of my life's purpose, receptive to the Most High's will to be done. Today with grace, I unapologetically accept the gift of my life's purpose, receptive to the Most High's will to be done. Unapologetically embrace your gift and be open to the Most High's will to be done in your life. Relax, breathe, and bring your awareness back to present time, giving yourself permission to unapologetically embrace your purpose and to be receptive to the Most High's will to be done in your life. Relax and let go, centering and grounding yourself, and carry this thought with you throughout the week, throughout the day. Thank you, Dominique, Tavis Smiley, Miles, and the 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetic, mindful, full moon blessed week. Being on purpose.
You said a lot right there. You said earlier when you started that it was going to be a wild week. And just hearing you recap it back, full moon week. Yeah. So thank you for getting us started in such a centered way. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's in Aquarius season, so Aquarius is erratic, sudden, and unexpected. So hold on to your pearls.
Yeah, you're right. And it's a great week to start with an affirmation and intention and some kind of grounding. If it's a little Aquarius full moon. I'm not going to say what you call Aquarius is, but it just sounds like we should breathe and give ourselves plenty of time and not get caught up in that intense emotionality for anything other than good.
Love that. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to myself, Dominique, get off the ledge. Get off the ledge now. All right. Yeah. And I know Angelinos, we don't like to go out in the rain and it's coming down right now. But I'm sure you have yoga classes and sound baths and such coming up, right?
Yes, I have a sound bath at Yoga House in February, but I do sound healing in my office every Sunday and Monday. And KBLA listeners have a gift offering if they're open to it, and they can reach out to Elise. Elise will give you all the information on how to come in and get recalibrated so that you can ride this new wave that we're in with Pluto and Aquarius that hasn't been there in 20 years. It's going to be cray-cray.
And that's a slow moving transit, right? So that's going to be going on for a while.
20 years.
Yeah, just about 20 years, just a couple decades of wildness. But let me tell you, if you've never done a sound bath or a sound healing and you think it sounds airy-fairy and unlikely to be helpful, which is kind of what I thought, even though I love Saharah and yoga and all these things, once you try it, you will be singing a different tune. And I guess if you really think about it, it makes sense. Like if someone, it's like it's one of the, I guess, torture tools is loud, terrible sounds that they play people while they're stuck in prison or while they're at protest. Then the opposite of that would be healing vibrations from sound. So anyway, you can call Elise 213-628-9783, 213-628-9783, or go to SaharahAli.com. Saharah has an H at the end, SaharahAli.com. Saharah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dominique and the KBLA family. Have a blessed week.
And you have a blessed week as well. Let's all do that. Let's have a blessed week, despite the 12 kinds of crazy that the planets may bring. Keeping our inner werewolves in check through meditation, eating well, drinking our water, breathing, all that good stuff. Okay, so we have today coming up, next hour, we are going to be meeting John McKinney, prosecutor running for district attorney, and Jeff Chemerinsky, an attorney, another attorney who's running for DA. So we'll meet those two. We'll talk to each of them. And we will be talking, we'll be making a hard pivot into a messy Monday in the final hour. So we've got a lot going on around here today, but it is the perfect moment to call me if you have something to say. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. We are unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
Cover California is a free service from the state that's already helped millions of people like you get and pay for health insurance. With financial help to lower the cost of health coverage, you could get a quality health plan for less than $10 a month. Every plan covers preventive care, doctor visits, emergency care, and more. If you have questions, we're here to help every step of the way. Cover California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by January 31st at coveredca.com.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the exclusive media sponsor of This Light of Ours, activist photographers of the Civil Rights Movement. A dynamic new exhibition on view now at the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles. This Light of Ours showcases more than 150 photos taken by movement insiders from diverse backgrounds that reveal the vital work undertaken by a broad coalition of organizers and everyday people whose collective action changed America. This Light of Ours is one of 3 temporary exhibitions currently on view at the Skirball, which together explore issues related to civil rights, immigration, and pluralism. Tickets and more information for all 3 exhibitions are available at skirball.org. That's skirball.org. SKIRBALL.org. COVID-19 renter protections are ending for City of Los Angeles tenants. Know your rights and these 3 facts. February 1st is the deadline to pay rental arrears for rent owed from October 1st, 2021 to January 31st, 2023. Residential tenants cannot be evicted without a reason or just cause. You have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice from the court. Learn more at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org. Be informed. Be protected, be at home.
Some people just know the best places to eat around town. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. They know exactly where to go to get exactly what you're wanting. They know where to find the spiciest hot pot, the gooeyest brownies, and the tenderest, most flavorful portobello steak. Those people also know that safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for all state auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, I know you remember in 2023, the incident that took place at that Winco store where a woman was thrown to the ground violently by a LA County Sheriff deputy. His name was Deputy Trevor Kirk, and he is, being sued by the woman that he threw down to the ground. Her name is J.C. Houston or Houston. I'm not sure the correct pronunciation, but you remember this. That was a crazy case, right? The guy she was with had been accused of stealing, even though it turns out, didn't steal anything. And then this guy she was just trying to film it, and the guy threw her down on the ground violently, and deputy handled her. Well, anyway, apparently he has been arrested, not for that, but for domestic violence, which, of course, somewhat explains how easily you just grabbed a woman and threw her down like it was nothing, like it was an everyday thing, like it was your first reaction rather than your last resort. He's been arrested. The the woman that's suing him for basically beating her up and throwing her down to the ground at the Winco, Miss Houston, she is represented by civil rights attorney Carrie Harper on that case, who's already taken a deposition and moving forward with this case. Meanwhile, the guy is arrested. He has to be in court in Santa Clarita this morning, in case you feel like tracking down that, whatever that hearing is. But this is just, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Maybe we'll be able to get Attorney Carrie Harper on the show sometime soon to talk about this. But I would imagine that if you're suing someone for beating up your client who's a woman and throwing them down on the ground, that violently, that being arrested for domestic violence is probably not a good look. I would imagine it's definitely not going to help your case, right? It's, I hope, at least. So I wanted to flag this because I think that these are, so many times, especially within the sheriff's department, this person is alleged to be in a gang, or this person is alleged, this person has a record of beating people up, slamming them around, or questionable arrests, profiling, even a record of killing off, civilians. They seem to get put back on the street and back in action, or they move around to different departments. And so this kind of accountability and tracking of this kind of policing is really important. I know that the Biden administration rolled out their database now, but it's starting with federal officers, and I guess they're going to fill in the blanks as we, as they get more sophisticated and get more time to input data. In the meantime, we, the people, need to track these violent folks like Trevor Kirk, Deputy Trevor Kirk. And I don't say allegedly violent because I saw the videotape. And now he's been arrested for alleged domestic violence. Connect the dots, follow the money, use the head that God gave you, figure it out. It's never too late to call me, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? We didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, I think that the film Origin, which I was talking about earlier, is definitely worth seeing. I don't want to say it's not worth seeing. And it will prompt a lot of emotion for most people. I also think it does a great job of reminding us, prompting us, uncovering some history that some folks aren't aware of about the oppression of people all over the world, about fascism, the Nazi system, and the way she, makes the writer, Isabel Wilkerson, draws a straight line between the enslavement of black people and this sort of global caste system and how it's enforced, and really makes us think, just like the book did. And I thought the book was very, very impactful in that way. Ava Duvernay has done a masterful job of telling these various stories, weaving them together in a way that's not at all confusing. And the fact that it centers an interracial couple, which is the author, Anjanou Ellis, and her husband, that raises the questions even more greatly, because if I'm in an interracial relationship, or if I am the product of one, as I am, maybe there's an impulse to gloss over race as a factor, or to some would say dig deeper than just race, right? And I think that what she says and what the parallels that she creates in forcing us to look at the American system of upholding white supremacy in a global framework, and finding the points of commonality with Dalits, with Jews under Nazi Germany and anti-Semitism is important, especially right now with what's going on in the Middle East. A reminder to all, right, of the impact of hate and what fascism looks like, what authoritarian governments look like, what, in this case, how that plays out into our oppression. But I do think that you can't just simply say that because we have these commonalities, that means race isn't a factor, especially when you talk about the American story, the North American USA story. Because, and I would say, and I would argue South African apartheid too. It doesn't mean that there isn't other oppression going on. It doesn't mean that what she argues is not true, that there is a caste system that is used to oppress people in various chosen groups and dehumanize them. But to try to use that thesis to say that race isn't a factor, or isn't the lens, or isn't the reason, I think it's problematic for truly understanding this country. And I'm not saying that we're unique in being, in that we're disconnected from the world. Clearly, we are connected to the world, and it's true that no one's free until we're all free. But I don't know that this is the moment in history, especially with the reparations conversation, to pivot away from the impact of understanding the role of race and the oppression of black people in this American experiment. 800-920-1580. We're going to be actually talking with district attorney candidates when we come forward, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
It is a Monday, January 22nd. I'm Mike Moore. Now here's the latest from the Black Information Network. An amended congressional redistricting map has been approved in Louisiana. Friday, the state legislature passed the new congressional map following a federal judge's directive to add a second black majority district. The map now heads to Governor Jeff the Gulf of Aden. The two are now presumed dead, with recovery operations